Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is Madden NFL 21 on EA Sports. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers versus Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. They juked him. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level. Went to a junior college. Went to Cal and just blew up there. And then, of course, as a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Forced out to his left. He'll run it. He spins free. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. To run for it, the decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm, they had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he'll try and run it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there, getting him to first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Check 26, check 26.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Mercedes Lewis, 37 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Dolphins set to go now, and their veteran quarterback leading him onto the field. He's played a lot of places, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's one of those guys that's been around the block a few times in the NFL, and at this stage in his career, what he lacks in big playability, he more than makes up for it in veteran leadership, a real knowledge of the game, and being a terrific locker room presence.
Here's the first carry from Matt Breida, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And now the throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It shouldn't be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. Pass complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. That catch good for only a couple.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Matt Breida out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a short one to Gesicki, and he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been fun to watch run the football. We know he can pass, but using his legs effectively here in this one.
No doubt about it. Watch him maneuver in the pocket, out of the pocket, making the plays that he's making, which are breaking down the defense. I thought back to when we had our morning jog before the game, and I couldn't keep up with you. Those legs, they're valuable for his team.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Looking deep for Adams. And that's caught inside the 35. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, 67 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will make it into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive, already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Dolphins nothing.
Third and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Oh, the return is Irvin. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
23 yards on the play.
First down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back, it's caught at the 10. And all the way down to the 9. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 46 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Another not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead, they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish. You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. This defense is really fooling around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 20.
Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And he's going to keep it here. Oh, some strong running. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Here's Rodgers. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back up. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
Now Crosby for the point after. And that stretches the lead to 27. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown.
Mason Crosby, the kickoff for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
25-yard line.
Miami set to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Irvin to return. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this 3rd quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Mason Crosby, the kickoff for Green Bay.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained. maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Zadarius Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up a screen for Breida. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion, Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. Steps away to his left. Looking deep for it, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 48 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams. And now it's 2nd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Now to throw. Down there, open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Davante Adams hauling it in from Aaron Rodgers. And this offense is running away with this one.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And the result, a Green Bay score.
Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick will hand this to Howard, and he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Again, it's Howard. Taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Go. Go. 58 Mike, 58 Mike.
A 1st down throw for Fitzpatrick. And he completes it to Wilson. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 24-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. To the air again, Fitzpatrick. Outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Zadarius Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, but now it's 3rd and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Running with Howard, and they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Makes the score Packers 34, Dolphins 3.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
25-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. And a lopsided blowout, the road.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Forced out to his left. Looking deep for Adams, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And this is Parker, complete. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's got it.
Fitzpatrick's pass, complete to Preston Williams. 1st and goal, Miami.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. But now it's 3rd and goal.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3.
Dolphins 6.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL